Hello and welcome to A Closer Look. My name is Gail Tatum. Today we're going to be talking about a very special tradition at the North Penn High School, North Penn Special Olympics that we host every year. And with me are two teachers at North Penn, Barry Finnemeyer and Chris King, who are the co-advisors for the National Honor Society, which is instrumental in organizing this event every year. So thank you both for joining me. I'm glad to have you with me. I want to take a minute because I think people in the community now know about the Special Olympics, and we all know it's been around for a long while, but I want to go back to the history of it. And as we were talking earlier, I remember it coming out of the Kennedy administration because Jack Kennedy had a sister who was mentally retarded, I guess. Yeah. And so the family, understanding her limitations and needs, wanted something else for her. Can we talk about that, Barry?
Eunice Kennedy Shriver really was the founder of Special Olympics, and it was her sister, Rosemary, that was mentally retarded. And originally it was for friends of theirs who had mentally retarded siblings and so forth to get some more exercise. They felt concerned that they were often shut away, did a lot of TV watching, didn't get a lot of interaction with other people, and this was a way of getting some exercise as well as to get some interaction with different athletic type events. And it started out just as a track and field meet.
Okay. But it's more than that now, right, Chris?
Yeah, now they have downhill skiing, they have just about any athletic competition you could think of that would occur in a regular Olympics.
Right.
It seems like they have almost every one of them in Special
Even
Olympics.
some
Ice
that are
skating, bowling.
roller skating.
That's neat.
Yeah, roller skating. There's
So
quite
it
a variety.
happens year-round then, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's year-round. And, and you were also saying that over time it has become much more of a true athletic event and less of a festival, I guess is the term you had used.
For the younger students, 5 to 7, it's still kind of a festival of games they call it. And that's for the younger students.
Right.
Not quite as competitive, much more for enjoyment.
Right.
And it allows them to get the feel for what's going on so that eventually they can start the actual competition. With the older students, it's become more and more like a regular track meet, like an Olympic track meet, as it were. You know, they're trying to get into uniforms, following the official rules. We were talking earlier, they used to just have the standing broad jump. We now have, in our Special Olympics, the running long jump, which is an Olympic event. The shot put, we're starting to work with that again. So it's becoming more and more like an official track meet. It really is.
Do athletes enter several events normally, or yes?
They can enter up to 4 events. The 8 to 21-year-olds are the ones who are actually governed by the rules of Pennsylvania State Special Olympics. And they can enter up to 4 events. And so depending on what they've trained for, they have to be training for 8 weeks before they can come to our meet. And that, again, is something that shows the progression. Originally, it was just kind of a one-day, go out, do what you could do. Now they work for 8 weeks to get ready for this. And so then based on their times or their throws, distances, they're seeded into different heats based on their age, their gender, and their abilities. And so they're competing against other athletes who have similar distances or throws.
That's good. So they're competing with people in a truer competition of their own, people of their own ability for that event.
Right.
So that says it is another athletic event.
Each different heat gets its own set of ribbons so that every athlete, and that's something that carries over from the very beginnings, every athlete is recognized for their accomplishments. Whether it's first place or sixth place, everyone gets a ribbon for everything that they participate.
And the grouping by abilities, again, demonstrates we're getting more and more like, you know, I coach track here, and it's very much like our regular track meets. They are grouped as we go to these large meets like the Penn Relays and such. They're grouped by ability, and each race gets ribbons and medals and things depending on their place.
So it's similar to that.
Very similar.
It's similar to that. Now this event, which we host, brings schools from Montgomery County?
Montgomery.
Okay. And how many schools would you say participate?
I think we had approximately between 35 and 40
That's a
different
lot.
schools. And that was ranging from elementary through high school. And if a student is classified as being mentally retarded, they are allowed to go to school through age 21. So some of the athletes were as old as 21 and would be in a high school setting program.
And we had
Originally, we only drew from the North Penn School District, you know, years and years ago. But as we've grown, we've become more known for our meet, and schools have asked to come. We actually also believe had one Bucks County school. We had some of the Penn Ridge schools involved. And certain years, different schools are involved, and then because of other commitments, maybe they're not always involved every year.
Right.
I believe it was just under 400 students this
That's
year.
what I was going to ask you. 400 athletes.
Just about 400 athletes competed.
Isn't that wonderful?
And,
so that's great.
And like we said before, in multiple events. You know, a lot
Right.
of them will go from one event to the next. So.
And do you know, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do you know approximately how many volunteers North Penn produced to help support this? Was it like 50 or
Oh.
100?
No.
Many.
No, I would say there were probably 600 to 700 North Penn High School students involved in some manner or another.
Okay.
There's 220 North Penn High School Honor Society members. They were all involved because this is their service project.
Right.
And then they held sign-ups for other students. 10th graders, of course, are not in Honor Society.
Right.
And then other 11th and 12th graders signed up. And we had to have at least one buddy for just about every athlete. Plus, we had some musical groups that came out in the morning to help us with opening and closing ceremonies, so that some of the students weren't out all day, but they were out for parts
Right.
of the day. And I'd say it was pretty close to 700 students.
That's really
Also, the
something.
concession stand was
That's
run by
right.
students as well,
Students, so it's a lot.
and the announcing and everything.
Barry made mention of the fact that the National Honor Society, of course, is key to this entire thing. And the two of you, who are both chemistry teachers, which I guess I hadn't realized until we started talking, share this responsibility as co-advisors to the National Honor Society. And it is the primary event, I guess, for the National Honor Society.
Well, actually, we're involved in a lot of different things over the course of the year, but this is really, this is our big event.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
a huge
is.
event.
Yeah,
Every
it's our largest.
National Honor Society in the country has to develop a service project in which all of their members can participate. Many honor societies are a lot smaller than ours
Sure.
because the schools are
School
smaller.
is so big, yeah.
And so that finding an event like this where all 200 members can be involved is really good that we found this. But every honor society in the country has to show that they've had an event for their entire group to participate in. And then there are additional service projects that the individual members do. And we do things with some of the elementary schools in a Big Brother, Big Sister program. We've also
Grandparent.
done some things with Adopt a Grandparent, as well as helping out at the various district science nights that are
Okay.
held all over this.
So there's lots of things that you're
Yeah.
busy with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But this is a
This is the
a
focus
big
for the
one. I
spring.
know
yeah,
it's a big
yeah,
one.
This far and away, this takes the most planning and
Yeah.
most effort. It's the largest project.
It's my sense that this is something we all share a great pride in, because it's so well run. We all know that it's going to be well run. Clearly, as you said earlier, districts want to be part of the North Penn Special Olympics, and it's really a source of pride. But Barry, we were talking earlier. It started years ago. You said
As far as
out of
I
a-
can tell, because Kathy Kerper, we've been working with her in the
Yes,
special
sure.
ed program for years, that it goes back to the early 70s. It was originally a much smaller project where there was a class at North Penn for students interested in majoring in physical education. It was called Gym Major. And their project was to develop and organize Special Olympics. And I believe originally only schools within the North Penn School District were involved. And then as the years went by, that course was no longer offered. For a while, the Leaders Club or Key Club helped to run it.
Okay.
And then Kathy came to us in the National Honor Society about 15 or 16 years ago and asked if our group would be interested in helping out. And at that particular point in time, we had been looking for a service project, and the two just seemed to mesh
and it stayed
really
the whole
nicely.
time. It is a nice
Yeah.
marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that
Really
we've
is.
seen the number of athletes really increase
Sure.
as the years have gone by.
Yeah, and as the program has grown.
Yeah, and
Now-
we've added events. It has gotten bigger as we've
Yeah.
gone along.
The National Honor Society received some real recognition for this service. Chris, you want to talk a little about that?
Well, recently we've won 2 awards.
Yeah.
The more historical, the one 2 years ago, last year I guess it was, we won
Yes.
it for our work the year before. The Special Olympics every year holds a state meeting in Harrisburg. And they give awards for outstanding athlete, male, female, outstanding, official,
Right.
referee, coach, those sorts of awards. One of the awards is to the Outstanding Service Organization. There's a group who has done, an organization of some sort that has done a lot of work for the Special Olympics. And it was really quite an honor. Last year we were invited up to Harrisburg and we won the Outstanding Service
That's really
Organization
nice.
Award
That was
from
really
the
an
Special
honor.
Olympics of Pennsylvania,
That's
which was
nice.
really, we were very honored.
You should be.
And then,
that's neat.
Barry,
And Barry,
actually-
there was another one too,
And,
right?
Yeah, recently in November, we were recognized by National Association of Secondary School Principals, which is the umbrella organization for all honor societies in the country.
No, I didn't realize.
And they have a convention every November for National Honor Societies, and we were selected as having one of the 10 outstanding service projects in the country. And so we took 5 students, went to Minneapolis in November
really
in a
something.
snowstorm, and we were real excited to have
Yeah.
to have received that award. And it was based on, again, Special Olympics from last year. And the year before, when we were nominated for the state award from Special Olympics, Kathy Kerper nominated us as a way of recognizing us. And at that time, we found out that we were the only totally student-run Special Olympics program. We know in the state, and we think perhaps even in the country, a lot of them are run by adult service organizations as opposed to a student
one, which is it really is a wonderful thing. I think it's great, and it brings a tremendous awareness to our entire student body of this whole issue, which is one of the major benefits of it, I think. Before we close, I want to talk a minute. When we were talking earlier, you each said some interesting things about special parts of this year. You were saying that it's interesting to see all kinds of kids react to these students, and it has that effect, doesn't it?
It really does. I think it really does bring out the best in people.
Yeah.
And I just think one of the neatest things for me about Special Olympics is, first of all, other than seeing it come off after all the effort you put into this, just okay, it's working.
Yeah.
I think the other nice thing is just to see our students and how much they just really rise up to the occasion, and how wonderful it is to see the interaction between our students and the special students that are here with us. I just, every year, I just smile. I really enjoy it a great deal.
I know the years that I've been there, I think so too. And Barry, you said something which I thought was interesting as well, that one of the sort of side benefits this year for some of our students was to see their own parents who are special ed teachers.
We had a number of students who said to us when they came for training, every volunteer needs to be trained, and they had to attend either an after school or an evening training session, and we always ask them if they have any special requests, and a number of students said, you know, my mom or my dad is a teacher either in this district or another district, and they are going to be bringing their students, and I'd like to work with them.
Isn't that
and
nice?
I thought that was kind of nice, but it really actually was very close to that take your daughter to work day.
Yeah, that's right.
There was a lot
of
mingling with that they felt was really something they wanted to do, to work with mom or dad for a day and find out a little bit more about the students they dealt with. And
that's a nice thing.
It really was. It was very important to them.
That's nice.
And I think their parents enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, I thank you both. I thank you for joining me and helping people to understand this. I know we're going to be talking to 3 of the 4 students who were involved with organizing this event, and I'm looking forward to that discussion. And thank you. Do either of you have anything you want to add, or do you think we covered most of it? It sounds to me.
I would just say the 4 students, and you're going to meet 3 of them. Really, they put in a lot of time.
Yeah,
they really are a big part of the reason this whole thing works, and they deserve a lot of credit.
Okay, thanks.
And I think that the parents of the special athletes really appreciate the fact that a high school student would take the time to spend a day with their child. And we get some really magnificent letters, thank you letters, from the parents
really nice.
that we really try to share with the students, because it makes an impact. And I'm not sure if they always realize how much of a positive model they've been that day.
Yeah, they probably don't. That is a really nice thing. Well, thank you both for joining me.
Thank you.
It's been interesting learning a little bit more about this. Thanks. Don't go away. My name is Gail Tatum. Joining me are 3 students who helped to organize this very special event. We'll be right back.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can shape the future, one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives, and I know I have.
Who knows where my influence may stop?
I teach.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I think I have the power to change the world. The influence is always there.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero, to change someone's life? Reach for that power. Teach. If you want to make an impact on our future, call 1-800-45-TEACH. Want to change the world?
I teach. I teach.
I teach.
I teach. I teach.
Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Back to a closer look. With me now are 3 of the 4 students who were integral in arranging and organizing the Special Olympics at North Penn last week. It was just last week, wasn't it? That's right. It seems longer ago, but of course you're still recovering. Greg Fox is with me, Laura Markowitz, and Caroline Lee, and the 4th member of the team who is not here is Patrick Mose, right? Who is sick today,
yes,
isn't in school today, which is too bad. He's probably still recovering from all the hard work. There's a lot to talk about, and I guess we'll all just sort of, I'll be interested to hear all of your thoughts about it. This is an enormous undertaking, and you should all be very proud of what you've done and provided for this community. It's really a tremendous thing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Are you rested yet?
Yep. Ready for the second round, I guess.
You're ready for the second round. You are a junior, and you will have a second round, won't you?
Yes. I'm talking about the second round of this.
Oh,
yes. I guess that's the ultimate second round, but we have some more follow-up work to do.
Do you still have work to do?
Yeah,
do
we're having,
I guess, thank you notes and things
we
like
have
that.
thank you notes. We have an evaluation on Wednesday. We're all getting together, talking about that. I have to write the 2nd chapter of the book. Jeff Haig wrote the first chapter last year, and it's just kind of a guide to get through the year.
That's good. Well, let's back up a little, because you are all 4 of you are members of the National Honor Society. And you were explaining that there's always 2 juniors and 2 seniors who assume this responsibility, so the juniors can learn and there's some continuity. Is that right?
Yes.
And so you 2 were involved last year.
Well, actually, last year got a little messed up, and the people who did it last year had to pick 2 new seniors for this year. But last year I had a large part. I was in the press box and got
so you were involved
a definite
very
impression.
much.
Yeah, I got a definite impression of what the problems were, and that's part of the reason I was picked.
Okay. What about you, Caroline?
Well, I was just sort of picked from whoever was picking people and stuff. I worked with Special Olympics in 10th grade and 11th grade, and I liked it a lot. So then I signed up for it to help.
Okay.
So I was picked.
And so Greg and Patrick joined you, and you started, how early in the year do you start working on this?
Well, me and Carolyn started working pretty much since the beginning of the year. Greg and Patrick sort of joined in December after they were picked. Okay.
Now, Greg, you were saying to me earlier that you were kind of the database guru for this thing, and tell me what that means.
Well, everyone obviously has to be entered into a database, so we have some kind of record of them with their name, their job, their home, or various information.
These are the volunteers we're talking about, right?
So when we have general sign-ups in school, which run about a week, we get 500 some volunteers,
Isn't that
which
wonderful?
all have to be picked through and entered in a database.
And people, when they sign up to work, do they sign up for different tasks or
Yes.
put preferences? Or
They
you
put
have
preferences down, and then we choose them at our own discretion.
So you know from past experience how many people you need to do this job or that job, and then you try to make people happy if you can, I suppose, and give them their first or second choice, but do the best you can to fill the responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you were saying to me that your database responsibilities are constant because you have people
changing,
that's
and
right.
there's a matrixing of other things, and so not wanting to do this, and now it has to be changed, and legible handwriting that has to be changed later on.
That's right. So there's lots of things with that to keep it going. Do you also use the database to enter information about the athletes who are coming?
No, Mrs. Kerper handles all the
all right, she
athlete
handles the athletic part, and then that comes together that way.
Yes.
All right. Mrs. Finnemeyer and Mr. King talked about the training sessions that are involved, that it's required that anyone who participates in Special Olympics has training. Laura, do you want to talk about that, what that looks like?
And it's up to us, basically, to organize those. We talk about the actual day to the students who are at the training sessions, what the schedule's going to look like, where things are located, and certain things they have to keep in mind, such as getting their buddy there on time, watching their language, things of that type of sort. Mrs. Kerper
behavior issues.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mrs. Kerper talks about special needs the athletes may have, and then usually Mr. King or Mrs. Finnemeyer will fill in anything at the end that we may have missed.
Okay. And does that, how long does that take, Caroline? Is that like
it took like half an hour to 45 minutes, I guess.
Okay. And that's a lot of students. You do it in small groups, or do you all together in the auditorium?
Well, we have numerous training sessions, so that we had 9 this year, so that they could pick which one they would
have
come
lots
to.
of times that fits people's schedules.
And the National Honor Society, the one for National Honor Society students, is held at one of the National Honor Society meetings. So most of them are taken care of right off the bat.
And that's over 200 of you, isn't it?
Yes, 221.
So that's a lot, yeah. Okay, so that's real important. So everybody comes together. So let's talk about the day. It's a wonderful day. And it starts with opening ceremonies.
Yes. Starts starts before that.
Okay, so for you it really starts early, doesn't it?
With everyone coming down, and the morning is the most hectic. That's when all the problems that may have arisen we don't know about come into focus, and you get mirage with people having problems.
Right.
And then we get in opening ceremonies, and that's a fun thing. All the athletes are there, the schools are there, they're all excited, ready to win their various events, hopefully. And then somewhere around 11 o'clock is when most of the problems that we have to deal with subside, and we've handled them all, and we can enjoy the day and watch what the athletes are doing.
So you four of you were very busy just sort of being flexible, being problem solvers in the morning, right?
Yeah, I find that our schedule's sort of different than everybody else's. Everyone else sees opening ceremonies, the events, and then closing ceremonies. We have the homeroom madness, the madness at the beginning of the day with down at the stadium with us running around. We had walkie-talkies this year, which really helped out because we couldn't keep in communication with each other. Then things calmed down, and they always say if you did your job well, you won't have to do anything on that day. And that's how it got around 11. We could just relax and watch it run itself. And then at the end, it got a little hectic again, making sure everyone got cleaned up and everything got back to where it was supposed to be.
Well, it's a big job to worry about it and to set it up and then to have the day end. Did you come in extra early to school, or was a normal start time all right?
Like, usually don't get into school like to 7:30 or whatever, but we came in like 7:10 that day, so we can like
so you were there early. And when did the event begin?
9:30.
9:30. Okay. So that didn't give you too much time.
No,
it gave you just a little over 2 hours. That really isn't very long to have everything ready and roaring today. Caroline, what would you say is your favorite part of the day?
I don't know. I guess I had fun. I don't know. I just walked around like after all that like really hectic stuff was, all the problems were done. I just walked around and I just looked at people doing their activities and stuff. And I don't know, there's like my sister who was she was a timer, and she was saying that she was doing timing, and then like some of the kids when they win, they're like I won, and they're like hugging all the timers and stuff, and they were really thrilled. I was glad to hear that. I was like, that was good.
That was nice. Why is this something you care about, Greg?
I think it's nice to give an opportunity to students who are not at a professional level athletically, so it would be hard for them to compete with the majority of kids, and this gives them an opportunity to compete with kids of their ability and give them something special to care about, because most kids in this situation, whether they get a 6th place ribbon or 1st place ribbon, is relevant to them because they've participated and it's a ribbon and they're happy about it.
That's neat. That is a nice thing, and you helped to make that happen, didn't
Yes.
you? Yeah, you did. How do you feel, what kind of sense do you get from students, Laura? My sense is that this is a point of pride for North Penn.
Oh, it definitely is. And I find it beneficial to everyone involved, not just the athletes, because a lot of times we don't understand people with special needs, and this really gives everyone an opportunity to work one-on-one with them and to see that they're people just like us and they have the same moods and feelings. And from what I've learned from Mrs. Kerper, a lot of times the special athletes are scared of us because they find us intimidating, and so they get to learn that by working one-on-one that we're like them too.
That's right.
And so everyone learned something that day, and I've talked to my friends, and I have not gotten one negative response. Everyone I know really enjoys it, and they have such a good time.
Yeah, that's my sense of it. Everyone seems to feel very positively about it. It's just a real happy thing. Well, do you feel like you'll be ready? You and Patrick will have a big responsibility next year to bring leadership to this.
Somewhat more streamlined next year. We'll know what we're doing and be able to streamline this a little more.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure that everybody brings their own skill to these tasks, and every experience you learn a little something and you grow from it. And I'm sure there'll be students who will come forward next year and help you, and as you found that there were 2 young men who were willing to help you this year. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the experience for yourself or for anyone else? Do you think we covered most of it?
I think we have.
I think we have. Okay. Well, I thank you for joining me. This is a very exciting thing that you do, and it's something I think the community, you probably don't get a lot of feedback from the community about this, but I think it's something the community embraces, and we thank you because I know this is a student-run effort, and you made it happen for hundreds of athletes and lots of volunteers, so thank you very much. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Gail Tatum. This has been A Closer Look. Today we've been looking at the North Penn High School Special Olympics. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.